Hello, I'm Barb Schwarz, the creator of home staging and the staging industry. And I'm so happy that you're with me. I have great goals for us working together to really help increase your business. And we're going to do that through communication. I built my own communication program because I was very unhappy with what I saw in the real estate industry and in the staging industry. And I did that before I invented home staging. I invented home staging as a realtor in Bellevue, Washington, and that was in 1972. I've worked for 51 years to build the staging industry and to educate over 1,400,000 students. I have taught home staging over 40,000 hours. And we're going to be talking about two main topics. One is communication, it's everything. And the other is staging. Both of those are going to increase your business, whether you are a realtor or a stager or a realtor. This is the CSCS course, Certified Staging Communication Specialist. And I wrote this class just for you. So we have a lot of work to do, and I call it joy because this kind of work is going to make you money as long as you apply it. That's the key. So right now, I'd like to share my screen with you. It takes a minute to do that, as you know. And then we're going to race for the stars. Now I'll start to share. And here we begin. As I make this into full size for you so that you can see it, you see here, welcome to the Certified Staging Communication Specialist course, as I just shared with you. There are two programs in my course, and you receive both. This is the first one. You'll see this PowerPoint throughout is green. And when we get into the second program, it'll be a different color. That'll help us really distinguish between both of them, at least in one of the many ways. So program one, I call the Business Relations Communication Program. Now, as we begin, we all were born to learn. We really were. And now we are all through our lives. And as I think about learn, what does learn really mean? To me, as you look at this slide, which is one of my own sayings, I've developed many, over 150 home staging and life sayings for you to use in your business and your life. I found through the years that I could talk a lot to tell sellers about staging, and sometimes that just didn't work. And I decided to come up with what I call quick sound bites. And when I say sound bites, I mean sayings, so that sellers, clients, stagers, realtors, stagers, clients, our family, anyone can understand what staging is. And as we start with to learn to me is to know. And then it's to do, because you can know it, but if you don't do it, it doesn't mean anything. And then that's to become the most efficient, powerful, creative, fun person, just to say a few adjectives, in addition to all the great things that you are, to be. And that is what we all seek on our journey of life. I call it life school. That's why we're here, to learn. Some things we learn in an easy way, and some things, well, Okay, they can seem a lot harder to learn. We'll talk about that. So as we start, the very first thing I want to share with you is why did I originate this? Because I did. Develop it, write this course, and to give you a designation. Why did I? What is my why? I ask you, what is your why? As a realtor or stager, or a realtor or both? What's your why? Your why is really important. And that's because in my case, I hear stagers and real estate agents' concerns and questions all the time. I hear stagers and real estate agents make communication mistakes. And I say that with a good heart. I mean it because I'm here to help. And that's not good when they make or you make communication mistakes. It pushes business away from you. It can push your friends, your family, your clients, your neighbors away from you when we don't communicate in the best way as well. I see what doesn't work in staging and in real estate in the industries, both of them. And they're doing those mistakes many times with clients through communication. And I know the truth about what is needed in their communication. And may I say, in your communication. Sure, I'm sure you are very great at communication many times. However, I hear all the times real estate agents and stagers, real estate stagers and agents say things that it's like they didn't even think about it before they said it. Or they said it and it wasn't the very best way to say and communicate with that client. Because we're here to talk about your business. And that's because I also experienced poor communication in real estate. As I said, I invented staging as a real estate agent in the industry of real estate. And in staging, I observed it afterwards, once I had invented that too. Things were not going well for me. They really weren't when I became a real estate agent. So I decided to either get out of real estate, and I've never quit anything. My grandfather raised me a lot, and I treasure my time that I invested and he invested with me and I with him. And it changed how I worked totally. However, it just didn't happen out of the blue. Because things weren't going well for me, I thought, gosh, I either quit or I've got to do something about it. So I decided to develop my own better communication. I'm serious. I thought, what I'm saying isn't working. I got to change me. See, you can't change your sellers or buyers. You can't change your own spouse. The thing is, or significant other or friends, because each person has to make their own decision of what they're going to change. And I said, this isn't working. So either get out of the industry or I do something about it. And I did, as I said, decide to build my own communication program. I started to analyze everything I said. And how did the seller respond? How did the buyer respond? How did the other agents respond? What did I say that just wasn't as good as it could be? So I built my own communication program, as I just said, and then I tested it in the Seattle area in Bellevue, Washington for over 13 years. That's a long time to make sure that it really worked. What I did was I decided to write down my observations. When I said this, what did the seller do? When I said that, did that work better? Well, which worked the best? How did they act? What did they say? What were their concerns about, formerly known as objections? And I'm going to ask you to change that objection word to concerns. People don't sit husband and wife, two men, two women, mother and son, whoever owns the property, and say, oh, let's make a list of objections for that realtor or stager or realtor who's coming. They don't say that. They have concerns. You know, objections is kind of negative. Concerns, those are real and they're truthful. It's not like making something up. It's how people feel in their heart and in their lives. So as I did that and began to really track what was happening, it really worked. And then my business in Bellevue, Washington skyrocketed. It did. It skyrocketed straight up. And my communication program is what made it happen. There's parts to it. We're going to go through all of them. I really want to empower you to do your very best every single time. Practice makes perfect, and you're going to need to practice it as well. I used my communication program to create, to build, and even to lead the home staging industry for all these 51 years to this very day. Because it works, and I use it every day with everyone, and you can too. Now my current mission is to teach you my communication program to help you build and grow a better business. You see, better communication is crucial. Why would that be? Because communication truly is the key to everything. Life is communication. Staging is communication. Business is communication. When you wake up in the morning, your brain, your inside is just talking to you. And that's communication too. In fact, some of the most important communication in the world is how you talk to yourself. What are you saying inside that others can't hear? How do you treat yourself? Do you call yourself names? Do you think, oh, I'm stupid because you didn't do what later you think would have been better? Communication truly is the key to everything. Better communication, and that's what we're about now. And most important, the most important communication is what you think and say to yourself. I put that in red. It's really, really important. I'm asking you from this time forward to analyze, listen to, observe what you say to yourself. What do you tell yourself about yourself? What do you tell yourself about the person sitting next to you in the car or at the office? What are you telling yourself inside that someone else can't hear about your sellers, about stagers, about other agents or other stagers? It's really important that you start to observe what are you saying to yourself about you, about your business, about everything. You see, communication never stops in your head. And it's all about how you talk to yourself. How do I talk to myself? I have to correct myself sometimes. Of course, we're all human. We all make mistakes. So we make a mistake. Let's look at it as a lesson and change it. And choose better communication with ourselves and with others. Communication never stops in your head. It goes 24/7 almost, because even when you dream, your subconscious and conscious is talking to you too. That's where some of your dreams come from. Especially though, when your feet hit the floor until you go to sleep at night. How and what are you saying to yourself? How many times have you asked yourself questions like these? Well, why did those people turn down my proposal? Why? What did I do wrong? Why did they think that I charged too much? Why did they think that? I'm doing a great job working for them. Why do they think it's too much? My answer is communication. Why did they go with my competition instead of me? Wow, really good question. Without being there with you the last time when business didn't come your way, I suggest to you, and I'm probably correct as I say this, because I have helped over 1 million people, and that is the communication wasn't done in the best way it could have been. Why didn't they do what I told them to do? Why did they listen to their former agent more than me about staging? And you could be a stager or an agent or a stager and still say that. Because they called up the old realtor. I don't mean old in age, but the person that they'd worked with before and decided not to go with this time, yet they're asking their opinion about staging their house. Then, why didn't they finish their list? I went over the list with them. We both talked about it. We both agreed. Why didn't they finish it? Why didn't they stick to the schedule to get their work done? Why not on the house? Why not? What's going on? Hey, should I raise my fees? Should I lower them? It's all communication. And then that list just goes on and on and on. Of course, we question ourselves. We do it a lot. It could be about anything. Maybe you're a stager with a team and one of the team members quit and she tells someone else still on your team, she hurt or he hurt my feelings so much. And you're thinking, what? What did I say? Because they never told you. They just left. And that could be your assistant in real estate too, in either industry. By the way, staging's in the real estate industry. I invented it in the real estate industry, not in the design or decorating industry. And I'm so glad I did it in the real estate industry. Because real estate is totally different. It's totally different when it comes to staging, and staging is totally different when it comes to decorating and design. We'll talk about that coming up too. See, the answers to your questions, the answers is that your self-communication creates your every moment. Think about that for a second. Your self-communication creates your every moment, which creates your now. How do you feel? How did you talk to yourself? Maybe you brought yourself down. You think it's something somebody else said to you. Well, how you interpreted that and what you did with it is why and how you feel now. Because I bet you weren't communicating very well with yourself about it. It creates your now and it creates your future. We are the producers of ourselves. We're the creators, once we're born, of what we do, when we do it, and who we are. It's the truth. We can blame parents, neighbors, former spouses, the list can go on. That responsibility really comes down to you and me for ourselves. So what is the number one factor when it comes to creating good communication. What is the number one factor in your communication? There's only one answer, and it's the honest truth. It really is. And it's time we step up and take responsibility, because the number one factor in your communication, it really is one thing, and it's called you. Take responsibility. It doesn't matter your age or mine. We need to take responsibility for how we talk to ourselves. First of all, how we treat ourselves. Don't call yourself stupid. Call yourself a genius, because you really are. You were born with it. Oh my gosh, creativity is one of the greatest gifts we've ever been given as a human being. To me, wow, communication, great communication comes from using your creativity. You are responsible for how you talk to yourself, when you say it, what you say it, the names you call yourself, and that list goes on about how you communicate with your family members, with your relatives, with your broker, with the owner of your staging company, whichever field that you're in, and some of you are in both of those fields, staging and being an agent and being a stager. And it's all under the umbrella of the real estate industry where I invented it. You are the answer to everything that has to do with you. You. And we're going to start here, and we're going to fly and create great new communication with and for you. You see, you're the number one factor in your communication and your thoughts. Those thoughts, can they make a difference or what? And that determines the quality of your words. Those words create the quality of your actions. You see, words, and the next thing we know, we've created actions. And actions, those create our habits. We all seem to be creature of habits, and yet we can change those anytime we want. And our habits, the quality of our habits, create our character. Words become actions. Actions, they become habits over and over again. And habits create your character and mine, which all affects the quality of, it affects the quality, basically, of everything you do, which, of course, is your relationships. How many relationships, which relationships, they're all affected the same. And it affects the quality of your business. It's the truth. Back it up a little. Think about things that have worked well and things that didn't. That came from the quality of the words and the actions and the habits, and as a part of your character, which really affects your relationships, your business, your very day, every day, and your life. It's the truth. It also affects your happiness. Everything we just talked about affects your happiness. You see, this is the first recording in the series that you and I are doing together of the CSCS course. And it had to start with you. As I wrote this, there is no other that I would start with than you. There's no other topic, there's no other person, there's no other subject. You are the foundation of everything you do. And so this is how it works. It's the way the world was made. It's the way you and I were made. This is how it works for you and for us all. And all of that is really my why. That's why I wrote this course. And it's all for you, you. You know, I have sayings, as I shared with you, over 150 staging sayings and life sayings. This is one of them. On my website, barbschwarz.com, there's no T, it's SCHWARZ, Schwarz, rhymes with s'mores. And so on barbschwarz.com, there's an area where all my sayings are, and you need to learn them. This one I wrote because it's true. You are what you think, and what you think becomes what you say. Isn't that the truth? And what you say becomes what you do. Oh, that's for sure. And what you do after what you say and what you think, then what you do shows everyone who you really are. As I bring this part one of the CSCS course to a wrap up on number one, I also wrote, this. Watch your thoughts. Watch what you're thinking. Observe it. Because those thoughts become your words. Watch your words. Yep. Because as I said, they become your actions. Watch your actions. Because your actions become your habits. It's the truth. And watch your habits, because they do become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes who you really are. This session we've just had together, you can look at this over and over again. There's no limit on how many times you can look at and listen to this recording. And as you do it, please remember what we're talking about as the basis and the foundation and the crucial person that this is directed to is all about you. I hope you will start to think more and apply more of everything I've just shared with you. Thank you. I will see you for number 2 recording and session together next. And you can take it whenever you want. You can wait a day, a week. It's up to you, because how fast and how soon you graduate from the CSCS course, once again, it's all up to you. Make it a great day. Thank you.